Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Hello everyone. Today I'm again so extremely excited because one of our students, and her name is Liliana Liliana actually, but in English we say Liliana Mae, and she's very, very happy to share her experience with you about School Beyond Limitations. So welcome, Liliana, to this interview, and thank you for your time.
Hello, as Martina already said, I'm Liliana. This year is my second year at School Beyond Limitations, and I'm happy to share my experience with you.
Thank you, Liliana. I would like you to actually talk about your, experience before you joined SBL, School Beyond Limitations. So what did you do before School Beyond Limitations?
So ever since I got into school, I quite felt like I don't really belong to school because I would be really engaged in learning and stuff. And I had a lot of different interests. And I felt like none of the schools I went to really supported me. Like I would be interested in science, but also in literature, and I would be really engaged. I would always raise my hand if the teacher asks a question, but like over time, the teachers started to get annoyed kind of me, and they wouldn't they wouldn't listen to me anymore. I felt really left out. Also, my classmates, they would bully me for being different from the others, kind of. So I would have always dreamt about a school where I can be who I am and where I can just like follow what I want to do. And then one day I found out about SBL, and at first I was a little bit like, I would wonder how that works because, we're on Zoom and I've never tried something like this before. I didn't even know what Zoom was. But I thought about like just trying it out because, I
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
Liliana, you know what? What you were just referring to about your experience at your former schools, that people were kind of bullying you and that you were not allowed to raise your hands anymore because you are a very active learner, right? And active learning is really something that we appreciate at School Beyond Limitations because we want people to share their ideas, their knowledge, and so forth. But then you came across SBL, as School Beyond Limitations, and you found out about it. What was the final reason for you to join School Beyond Limitations? Why did you do it in the end then?
Because, just when I came across that website, I really felt the vibe, I just suddenly it felt so right. I was like looking everywhere around the internet page, also watching some interviews Martina already like had with others, and like I really felt like this is where I belong. It just felt like I just had a really good feeling about it. So I told my parents, and yes, then we got in touch with Martina. And eventually I would end up being a student here at SBL, and I don't regret it. No, don't at all.
Liliana, this is amazing. And actually, I'm so proud of you and also so happy for you and for us that you have found us, right? So, And also what you just said, the sense of belonging that you felt immediately by reading the website and by listening to the interviews. And I think that's something which is also very peculiar about School Beyond Limitations, because we actually always invite our students to act and choose out of their own authority. And sometimes for certain people, we are using tools such as human design, that tells us exactly what is our authority. And if your authority is your emotion, then it's important to actually go with that. So I'm glad that you felt very good already from just reading through the website. Liliana, and maybe people may be interested in finding out more about your start. How was it at School Beyond Limitations in the very beginning for you?
So I can like exactly remember my first day. There was the opening ceremony, and I was like sitting with my parents on the table, and like we had our iPad. We were using it to like join the Zoom, and I was so excited. And I was like, actually, when we then like got to know our teachers, I think it was on that day, yes. And I saw all the people. I was wondering like who of them will be in my class, and like are the teachers nice? I was a little bit nervous, but I was really looking forward to it. And I remember um, on the first day when we were speaking English, I was so nervous because I didn't know English at all. At our old school, we would only have some vocabulary tests. We would never really speak English. We would just learn some words, and now I would have to only speak English the whole time. And I would even have like teachers who don't speak German. Actually, most of the teachers don't speak German. So I was quite anxious, but my teacher from that year, I don't know, should I say her name? Maybe.
You may, of course. I mean, why not?
So like on my first week, I had Debbie Andrew as my teacher, and she was just such a lovely person. She still is, of course, like, but she was such a lovely person. I felt like immediately with her, I felt so comfortable, even though she was only speaking English. She didn't know German, and it also was her first year, I remember. So we got along very well, and it was really cool. And then my class, I also got along very well with all of my classmates. And S- SBL, just gives this vibe of kind of a family. The moment we were in that Zoom room for the first time, we all felt connected because all of us were like sitting there first day, quite nervous. But and we didn't know each other, but we still felt connected in some kind of way. And and over the time I got more comfortable. I would like talk a lot and in English. I would learn a lot of English. And also like in the second week, another teacher, Claudia Reda, who's my teacher also this year, and she's also my mentor. She was back then, and she still is my mentor. um
Nice.
she was also very, very friendly. She still is, of course. I say she was, they were, they still are. And I'm writing a novel at the moment, like I'm editing it. And she also wrote a book, what I didn't know, like some years ago, a romance book. And she helped me a lot with my writing.
Lovely.
Yeah, and
That's great, Liliana. And that actually takes us or me to the next question, because I think you are touching upon, the connection that is immediately created, and the sense of belonging you mentioned also before, and this understanding that we are all actually seen for what we are. So I would like you to let people know out there, how would you describe the school culture? Which school culture does School Beyond Limitations have according to you? What would you say?
So I would describe it in 3 words. First of all, independence, because at School Beyond Limitations, we don't learn alone, but we learn to be more independent and mature also, how to like learn for ourselves. And um yes, also the next word would be respect, because we are really respectful with each other. We aren't mean to each other or say bad words. And maybe it comes to some fights, but at the end we solve all problems. And community, because we have like this big secondary community chat where like people share every day. If someone has a birthday, actually, I think this is what surprised me the most. Every day when someone had birthday, Martina would like write in the chat, happy birthday, and then she would insert the name of that person. And that really surprised me, because this makes just, everyone belongs to that school. Nobody gets left out. And by those small gestures, like writing happy birthday to everyone or appreciating the work of others, um, yeah, this just creates such a nice vibe and community, and we all, yeah, belong
Well,
to each other.
wow, so nice. So basically, you are talking about three main things. It's independence, right? Respect and community and unity. So community within unity, which is lovely to describe. Thank you so much. So that leads me to the next question, because that may be interconnected. I don't know, but you will then tell us all about it. What in your view, what makes SPL School Beyond Limitations a special school for you?
So for me, actually, everything about SBL is special. When you get up in the morning and you sit down and turn on your device, whether it's your mobile phone or an iPad or a computer, and then you like go into the Zoom room. This is like one of the most special things. Just the Zoom room, to go in a Zoom room. Like I don't have to ride a car to school. I just click on the link and then I'm in. And then I see like the face of my teacher and of my classmates, and we say good morning. And it's sometimes there are some errors in terms of like, because it's Zoom, so if someone speaks and there's a bad internet connection, but we solve it always. And then also we only have one teacher per week. So it's not that we have like a lot of teachers, and like for every subject we have another, but we have only like two who always change between the weeks. And but that doesn't mean we don't get to know the other teachers, because we have boot camps and hackathons where we have the opportunity to visit the classes, kind of. So like every teacher, I think now I'm getting mixed up a little bit. Boot camp was where the teachers are leading, right? So at boot camp, every teacher like makes a class like with a subject. For example, creative writing. I visited Brian's creative writing boot camp this school year or last. Actually, I forgot. And then you get to know everyone, and also other students. So students from other classes, students who you don't know yet, or also students who are your friends but don't go to your class. And also the same on residentials. We like meet everyone, and you know this is just so extremely special, because at any other school I went to, you wouldn't like you would everyone would not everyone, but you wouldn't be friends with everyone, kind of. Some people would hate each other, really. They would say bad words to each other, like the teachers would be really mean, and it's just so different. So different.
Wow. That's beautiful. So, out of your words, would could we say that you like School Beyond Limitations and you would recommend School Beyond Limitations to other people or not?
Of course. What did you
Oh,
expect me to say?
no,
Of
no.
course.
I just want you to be honest, and
I'm honest.
yeah, yeah, excellent,
Completely
Liliana.
honest.
Thank you, Liliana, so much. But before we come to an end, I would like to ask you, because you just mentioned before that you are an author as well, a writer,
Oh
and that
yeah.
you are writing, have been writing on your book for a long time, and that you have also the facilitator who is helping you, and school is also supporting you with that. Um, Out of that, and School Beyond Limitations supports you with your plans. So out of that, what are your future plans, Liliana?
So by the end of January, I will have finished editing my book, and I will publish my book this year. And it's a fantasy novel for anyone who's interested.
Yeah,
And
please talk about your book and tell us what's the title of your book, and maybe just very quickly where people may find it then thereafter, if you already know that.
so about the title, I've been thinking a lot. I'm still not really sure how it will be called. Usually, the agency or publisher, they will at the end decide what the title is going to be. But
How
up
long is
until
your book,
now,
Liliana?
yeah,
How long is it?
it's exactly 300 pages, but I expect, like, in the process of editing more and more, it will like grow up to 350 to 400 pages. I'm not sure.
Wow, wow, that's extraordinary. So, Liliana, we, as soon as you know the title, as soon as you know more, we will actually communicate that, right? So that
Yeah.
everyone who watches this interview will know where they can find your book, because I want to read your book. We all want to read your book, and some chapters I've read already, and it's really, really, really interesting. So I can just say that, and you are such a talented young author. Really, it's incredible. And I think if you, but I think you have another future plan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
I wanted
yeah,
to
maybe
talk
you
about.
still, yes. Can you
So
talk about that?
I'm planning to write like my IGCSE exams for like German and mathematics this year, either in May or in November, December. And my ultimate goal, I would say, is going to Oxford University.
Hmm.
Um,
And
I
with
really dream
that,
to go there.
you've even been inspired, I think,
Yeah.
by one of our graduates, who has already finished and who currently studies at Oxford University or University of Oxford. So, what did inspire you about that?
So actually, I don't know. Can I say your name?
My name, her name, yes,
No,
sure.
yeah, her name. So when I heard about Faye graduating and going to Oxford, I was so excited because, I wouldn't have thought like that one of our students as like going to this university. It was like really surprising. Um, I know Oxford has a lot of books, and I always tend to go there where a lot of books are. I'm quite addicted to books. So they have a lot of books and libraries. So this is like one of the reasons why I really want to go there. And yeah, I've been researching about how they teach there, and I found out that you will have a mentor. I don't know, with someone else or alone. And that reminded me of SBL so much because you have a mentor there as well. So this is why I really want to go there.
Liliana, that's actually a wonderful way of finishing this conversation that we have, because indeed it's very similar, having a mentor, personal mentor, and the way that you explained that you got inspired by another student is also part of School Beyond Limitations, that we inspire one another. So thank you so much for your time, Liliana. And whoever is watching this interview, if you feel that this is the right place for your child also, because they have special talents, or everyone is special, by the way, and they would benefit from a nourishing environment like School Beyond Limitations, then get in touch with us. We are there, and we will support every one of the students, and take them to their goals. And Liliana will then be supported to achieve her goal to study at the University of Oxford and beyond. Okay, Liliana, thank you for joining us, and all the best for your future.
Thank you.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can, indeed, bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.